Hey guys, today we are going to talk about the new recent Logan Paul documents. There have been a lot of them. If you guys would like to do a live stream about this, I think it would be fantastic because there's just so much to cover here. But in this particular video, it will be about the letter or the email CoffeeZilla sent to the SEC. He sent it to two individuals about the CryptoZoo. So CoffeeZilla had been in touch with CryptoZoo. So here is CoffeeZilla. It is his email address that has been blurred out, sending it to two individuals, sec.gov. Popular influencer Logan Paul defrauds investors with unregistered security offerings, CryptoZoo. And then he's got a report.pdf. Just wanted to let you guys know I submitted a detailed report on Logan Paul's involvement with CryptoZoo to TCR. Popular influencer Logan Paul defrauds fans with blockchain play-to-earn game that doesn't work. So CoffeeZilla put in a lot of effort making this document and sending it to the SEC. Unfortunately, it does not look like the SEC really has much interest in investigating crypto as it did before. Different administrations have different guidelines as to what people should spend time on, and the SEC has been told to kind of lay off crypto. CryptoZoo is both a cryptocurrency investment and a play-to-earn game involving the sale of zoo tokens and NFTs. It was created and promoted by Logan Paul. Logan Paul has used his massive influence to recklessly cause millions of dollars in damages to investors through the sale of unregistered securities. So that's why the SEC has to be involved. Now, the FBI is later involved. Out of the 12 documents, we've looked at 2 of them. I'm guessing the next document will be to the FBI. But this is the full report. The core promise of CryptoZoo is simple. There are 2 ways to invest: buying a Zoo crypto token located on the Binance Smart Chain, or buying an animal hybrid NFT with the Zoo tokens, which creates a yield. There was some type of Neopet thing. I used to play Neopets a lot. You paintbrush them, you got pets, right? And this reminded me, when it first came out, I just didn't understand, why doesn't Logan Paul buy Neopets and just re-up the website? I mean, I would pay, right? And this reminds me kind of like a Neopet NFT thing where your Neopet would give you coins, and then you could use the coins to buy more paintbrushes to paint your Neopet. And then there was fairies and jobs. Yeah, Neopets was a great game. And it had advertisement for McDonald's. If you went in the advertisement, they would give you even more coins or whatever the currency is. So I thought the Zoo token was just going to be I thought this was just going to be Neopets. To be honest with you, I did not initially presented and had it just been Neopets with cryptocurrency instead of the coin currency that they would have. Probably not a terrible idea. I don't know. From these statements alone, the presentation of CryptoZoo mechanics is a simplification of the CryptoZoo game and ecosystem. There are numerous mechanics of getting new animals, buying egg NFTs, and breeding your animals, and I've included a full breakdown of one of the CryptoZoo websites, which functions as a white paper. CryptoZoo attracts millions and delivers nothing. Still do not work. The animals do not yield anything. And yeah, that's a big problem when that's the promise that you made. Investor 1, I do not have one of one NFT. I do have one of one NFT. I do have a few ducks. I had quite a few. Whistleblower. So you do have the animals, or you are aware the animals do not yield zoo like they're supposed to? Oh, it never did from the beginning. There, it wasn't even written in the contract. So this is, again, CoffeeZilla talking to witnesses who did buy CryptoZoo and then sending this to the SEC. The smart contract is a 1-for-1 copy. The CryptoZoo smart contract was changed 3 times. This is my problem with blockchain, right? It's supposed to be unchangeable, and then you can change it. It's okay, that's great that you have a record that it's been changed, but the rules are different now in my contract. So here we go. The significance because of CryptoZoo's later representation of spending $1 million on project development. So it clearly has not spent $1 million. Now we will get into like who's to blame. Like there's a lot of people to blame, and Logan Paul bears responsibility, in my opinion, because he chose the team. But there is one member of the team, which CoffeeZilla and Logan Paul have not really been able to get a hold of that is essential, and his name is Jake Greenbaum. If you are a Pokemon fan, you know who Jake Greenbaum is. You remember when Logan Paul was opening the first edition base set booster box, and the individual who was Logan's Pokemon card expert said the Bulbasaur was worth $30,000. That is Jake. Or you might remember him from Dumb Money, where he attempted to sell a sealed box of first edition base Pokemon for, a sealed booster box. Yes, a booster box to Dumb Money, and it turned out to be fake. So Jake is a very scammy type of individual who has already attempted on multiple occasions in the Pokemon sphere to rip people off. Here we have Logan Paul's new crypto project, 99 Original. So what people forgot was as soon as the CryptoZoo passion died down, I guess I use the term passion loosely, Logan Paul just moved on to 99 Originals, and it was like nothing had happened. It was like, well, forget about this CryptoZoo. I'm now going to go to 99 Originals. So I completely forgot about the 99 Originals. I also believe this is probably a NFT as well. The message, my favorite place, Discord. Okay, so Logan Paul was messaging people on Discord. Investors have material and emotional damage. A video of several of these interviews and victims have been submitted alongside the report. It demonstrates both material and emotional harm. Full copies of the interviews can be provided upon request. Losses varied considerably. Some investors claiming to have lost $500,000, others only $5,000 to $10,000. CoffeeZilla has done a really good job. And the single mom thing is like crazy. Like, you do not invest in crypto unless you're ready to go to zero. I would say, and this is what I say about Pokemon, Magic, sports cards, is you don't view that as your entertainment. And this is what I'm going to say about crypto. View that as your entertainment money. So the money that you would go see Houston Texans game, that's our local football team, or Houston Dynamo game, which are our local soccer team, or maybe the money that you would give to see a movie theater or buy the next Pokemon set. This is the money that you would put into crypto. You should not be putting your life savings into crypto. In my opinion, I currently own zero crypto that I know of. I do own an ETF called ARK Invest that I think hopefully owns crypto. I don't know. That's what they said they did. I myself, I'm not going to go into ARK Invest. I myself have lost a lot of money in that ETF. Probably down 50, 60, 70. I don't even look at it anymore. It's so bad. This is further evidenced by the blockchain contract of Zoo, which shows the number of unique addresses which holds a given token. Holders. For Zoo, this number is 19,102 unique holders. So again, they might just be alleged victims now at this point in time. So this project was really big. I think in hindsight, once you look at it from like the forest, it was a very big forest. People did put money into this. They put a lot of money into it. Thousands of victims, as CoffeeZilla would say. CryptoZoo targeted unsophisticated investors. Throughout my conversation with many victims, I found this investment specifically targeted naive, unsophisticated investors through the guise of play to earn gamification. Yeah, so not only could you sell your NFT for more money, your NFT would generate you tokens that then you could sell for more money. A lot of people were expecting this to make them millionaires. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Pay to win has existed, I think, since Axio. And it's just a bunch of people in the Philippines playing the game for pennies on pennies an hour or something like that. CryptoZoo offers an inclusive ecosystem open to less tech-savvy users. Through gamification. So he could have done this correct. If everyone wasn't so greedy, this game actually would have been interesting to teach people what the blockchain is, how to make a MetaMask, which they do a little later in this white paper, or they did it in the original white paper in my previous video. Like, I don't think it's like the worst idea ever. It was just that allegedly multiple people, specifically one Jake Greenbaum, just took all the money and just ran. And that's on Logan, right? I mean, when you hire somebody like Jake and he's your Pokemon guy, he's at that time he had already attempted to sell the fake box of Pokemon cards to Dumb Money. Dumb Money isn't me making fun of him. That's actually the YouTube channel, and you can watch it on live. It literally happened live. Lean Hart, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest Pokemon YouTuber, was actually sitting at the table, and he said the box looked okay, or he said the box was like thumbs up, or he didn't have any issues with the box until after. So it was a really good fake box. Jake just didn't understand that they were going to open it. I don't think anyone told him that. However, we can get an estimate of the total investment activity and possible scope of damages from free sources. Yeah, it looks like, a lot of money has been lost. It looks like, the estimated initial damage is 2.5 million. That's a lot of money. That's not a small amount of money that just went away. NFT second volume, this is more like the trading of a stock or on a open exchange, except the NFT creator can set a fee. This is called the gas fee, I guess, which gives a small percentage of each sale back to the creator. In this case, the fee was 2.5%. So they would be making money on every sale of the NFT. And that's how they would be able to get the money to then operate the game. So I kind of view this almost like a gacha game, like a Japanese mobile game, where you do need to somehow generate consistent money to maintain we have a new drop going on, this is the new unit, this is the new animal you can breed with, and then developmental costs. So I get that. This leaves us with an estimated NFT trading volume of 9.2 million. That is an astronomical, almost $10 million amount of money that was put into it, most of it, or a large chunk of it, on the secondary market. In total, the majority of volume was in trading volume of the Zoo token, and NFT sales were relatively minor in comparison. However, it is worth noting NFT sales, specifically mint, were essentially pure profit. That said, it is highly probable the CryptoZoo team profited off the token itself as well. Note the team allotted themselves 25% of token. Yeah, and this is what I don't like about it, right? Why can't we just have like a Neopet that you pay $5 a month for and you can use as much as you want, and it can generate you, let's say, at maximal, maybe your $5 back, right? If you play Neopets long enough. I like Neopets. I don't know what happened here, but this thing was not Neopets, right? This thing was when you involve something, and this falls on Logan Paul solely. When you involve somebody like Eddie Abanez or Jake Greenbaum into your project, and they have a history specifically that I know of. Now, Eddie's history might be even worse than Jake's. According to Logan Paul and CoffeeZilla, Eddie has a very, very made-up history of what fake schools he went to, fake people he knows. But Jake, in real time, as a Pokemon store owner at the time, you would never buy. You would be afraid that he's selling you fake cards, fake boxes. He attempted to sell a fake box that he didn't realize would be open on live stream. And when it was opened, there wasn't like embarrassment or sadness. There was just like, oh, I'm going to pretend to call somebody. And the story he said about that fake box should have told Logan Paul all he needs to know about Jake. The box apparently, according to Jake Greenbaum, came from a owner who had 6 boxes on a safety shelf, right? And they bought the boxes when they came out, they put it there, and they never removed them. Now, when the box was open and the packs were open, the cards came from base set 2, which happened 10, 15 years ago. Pokemon's about 25, not quite 30. I think 25th anniversary was just recently. So none of the story matched up. So Jake is either not very good at figuring out if people are lying to him, or Jake himself is the one who resealed the box, because the story was very, very stupid. The story sounded good before they opened the box. And when the money, that's the YouTube channel, said, hey, we're going to open the box, you could see Jake's face become very pale, because he knew he knew it was over. Anyway, and again, all this happened and before CryptoZoo, or during that time of CryptoZoo. So Logan Paul has no problem with this guy being part of the team. Yikes. Anyway, guys,